What's going on? What's going on, my co-creators? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How is your what is this? Tuesday morning doing? Um, it's crazy. Like I said, I be forgetting the days of the week sometime. Well, I've been like that for a minute now. Kind of confused about what day of the week it is, but now a lot of people going through the same thing. Like, damn, what day it is? What's going on? I think that's a good thing, folks. That means we're off of the out of the rat race. We running around as a human race at our own pace in our own race, living a way that works for us. You know, I think a lot of us have been forced to drop outside of the matrix a little bit and kind of, you know, live our own schedule. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably a good thing. But anyway, what I want to talk about? I got a few things I like to talk about. Um, co-creators, co-creators. I don't use that term lightly. When I say co-creators, I am serious. This is a real live production that we're living in, and we are real live co-creators of our lives. We are the director. We are the starring role. We're the producer. We're the writer. We're the special effects artists. We're all the different people that are needed to create a production, but this stage is always on live. There's no cut. Well, the cut is, you know what the cut is. That's at the end of your life. But the camera's always rolling. We're always on stage. The action is always happening. We're always the star of our show. Everything is revolving around us, even if you don't want it to. Your whole life is revolving around you and how you feel, how you look at it, your perception of things. You are the star of this production. Don't ever forget that. You are never not the star. You are always on stage. You are always in scene. Sometimes your movie might be dramatic. Sometimes it might be action. Sometimes it might be a thriller. Sometimes it might be a little, strange and mystical. Might be something a little sci-fi, fantasy. But whatever genre your life is in today, that's you. This is your movie. This is your stage. This is your production. We are in charge of how this thing goes, folks. Can't forget that. Don't ever walk around here acting like you're a spectator in your own movie. You're what they call the people in the background, a background actor, an extra in your own movie. Nah, you are the star of your movie. Even if you don't want to be the star, you are. You're in control of how this thing goes. You're the director also though, so you can direct the scenes. You're the writer, you can write the scenes. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna be a bad actor in a movie that you're directing, that you're writing? You're the one that's coming up with the script. So you can't get fired from your own job. You know what I'm saying? You're the entrepreneur of this production. You're funding it. You're doing everything. So don't forget that, folks. We are in charge of how this thing goes and how it flows and how a lot of this stuff turns out. Especially our attitude and our mind. We're in charge of that. We can't forget that, folks. Um, well, I was thinking about this earlier. Well, actually, I heard somebody say this, and it made so much sense to me. And I was like, damn, I never thought about that. It's like if somebody's pretending to be asleep, it's impossible to wake them up. I mean, you could be in a deep sleep. You could hell, some people could be in a coma and they come out of comas. I don't know if that's considered sleep or not, but if somebody is pretending to be asleep, you could shake them all day long. You could do all kind of stuff to them, but if they don't want to wake up, you can't wake them up. I've been in some deep sleeps before where I mean like really deep, and somebody had to like literally like smack me around, damn near throw water in my face to wake me up. That's a genuine deep sleep, you know what I'm saying? And some people really do walk around like that, Of course, I'm talking about other issues in life, other things going on in this world. Even like, some you've seen people in relationships where, they're with somebody and the person is totally, doing them wrong and doing them terrible. And, friends or family will come to the person and they're so blinded, they're so brainwashed by that relationship, they're so intoxicated by that feeling, they just can't, they really are asleep, and it's hard for them to see who they're really dealing with. I've seen a lot of parents like this with their kids. I mean, I hate to say it, but they got some really terrible kids around here. It's like young people. I remember growing up seeing, not really friends of mine, but schoolmates of mine. They would be bad kids, like really intentionally trying to do stuff to get them, to bother people, and they was always in trouble. And their parents just couldn't stop trying to protect them and take up for them, and always trying to, you know, say, "Oh, my child wouldn't do this or my child wouldn't do that." And I'm like, yes, they would, but they're just literally just blinded and so much in a deep sleep. They're brainwashed in their mind. They can't see past their love of obsession or whatever it is for their child. You see it in relationships, like I said. You see it in you know, in this world today with all the scams and all the confusion, the propaganda on TV. Is like, man, there's so many scams and so much deception going on in this world. And people just, they're so bought into it. They've spent their whole lives working in it, believing in it, even if they love it or hate it. Just like in those relationships, they can hate the person, but they just believe in that relationship. So they're gonna sit there and just you can't wake them up. You can't say, "Hey, you need to get this person out of your life. This is gonna end, you're gonna end up crazy, broke, dead, depending on how bad it is." Because some people are in abusive relationships and you can't wake them up. And so I see a lot of that going on today. I see people, they can't be awakened. And I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. I don't know how to break through and convince people to see, how things really are. And it's not like how I see things. It's just how things really are. You know what I'm saying? I'm not equipped to do that. I mean, sometimes I've done it just by accident. I'll be talking to somebody and they'll have some type of epiphany, an aha moment or whatever. That wasn't really set out to do that. It just happened. Maybe they were ready to hear certain things and they woke up about a certain thing going on. They're like, damn, I finally get it. And even though it's terrible as that is to see so many people just buying into these government systems and everything they see on TV, they think they're gonna die from some mysterious virus and all this stuff, and they terrified of life and of death and of everything in between. Even though it's your movie, you're the one on stage. We're just walking around terrified. Everybody listening to commands from people that ain't no smarter than them, and scared to stand up and just defy and deny. They just totally bought into the system, totally bought in, and they don't even know that they don't know. And those are the people that are truly asleep. And I don't even know what to say to y'all or to them, because they can't even hear me. When I start talking, they can't hear me. I'm talking German if they speak English. They don't understand a word that's coming out of my mouth. And so, in a way, that's legitimate sleep. So, I can't get mad at nobody about that if they just refuse to wake up. I mean, that's not really I can't do anything about that. That's just where they are. I mean, there are some things in my life that I'm genuinely sleep on. I don't understand everything. And I think that's one of the beauties of life. You go through life and you discover and you learn and you have these moments of epitome and all this stuff, and you wake up like, oh man, I never saw that like that. So I mean, I'm pretty sure I have thousands and thousands of things that I'm sleeping on. I don't understand. I mean, I'm working on it. I'm trying to get better. It's one of the reasons why I'm always trying new things, why I'm always meditating, trying to open myself up to new things that I may be sleeping on. And so the legitimate sleeping people, that's legit. whether I hate it or not, is legit. It's hard to watch because I hate to see people just get taken advantage of. People just believe so much in their religion and their country and their this, and it's all, a lot of this stuff has been set in place to keep you controlled, to keep you from rising to your full potential, to keep you docile. That means not effective in this world, especially a lot of men. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for women on some things, but a lot of men, these rules and these traditions, these all these different things that's set up in this world, it really teaches men to be non-effective in this world. We can do so much more if we let go of some of these traditions and the way we conduct our lives, and we let go. I mean, like I said, I have nothing against religion or not anything like that, but sometimes the way these religious institutions are set up and how we were taught to be, it depowers us. It takes our power away from us, and it has us looking outside of ourselves, and it keeps us living in a certain restrained way and not having the courage to go out there and break some walls down and kick through some barriers. Now, some people can still operate at a high level and have these traditional relationships, traditional, unions and whatever you want to call it. But some people, they've totally given away their entire life. They've given it all away trying to uphold some tradition because that's what they thought they're supposed to do because they're trying to do the right thing. And yet they could have been out here in this world really making some changes in this world. I mean, shoot. We have a lot of potential, folks. We have a lot of potential, all of us. But especially as men, we have a lot of potential. And we let these traditions, we let these ways of lives, I'm settling down, I'm going to do this and do, man, that stuff is, boy, that's for the birds. I'm not saying you shouldn't have what you love, but just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. It's not because somebody pressured you into doing something, or because it's some type of family tradition, or because, you really like being around some person, so you're going to do what they think, what they love. But if it ain't in your heart, don't do it. There's bigger and better things for you to do out here. You can do it all. But I'm telling you, you follow those traditions, you're going to be stuck like Chuck. Next thing you know, you're going to be old and wishing you should have did this. You could have did it all, but you were scared. So anyway, like I said, I recognize legitimate sleep people. And I hate, using the word sleep and the word awake. It sounds like I'm saying I'm better or somebody is not as good or they're not as smart. They're not as human. No, man, I'm really not trying to pick on nobody. But that's the best way I could describe it, as an analogy, like saying someone's asleep because they just don't see it. You just don't see it. It's right in your face, but you just don't see it. And so, anyway, my problem is with the individuals that are pretending to be asleep. And I don't know if I straight up have a problem with them, but I'm a very, very straightforward person when it comes to like discussions, and if you want to talk to me about something, I'm not really the best debater because I'm going to put out all my weaknesses from Jump Street. I'm not a good arguer because I'm not going to try to like strategically wait to use a certain idea. What the heck, man? I'm not going to try to strategically wait to say a certain thing just so you can't come back at me. I'm going to legitimately put everything on the line when I'm talking. I'm going to be genuine when I talk to you about stuff. I'm probably going to give, if I lose an argument a lot of times, it's because I've said too much, because I'm just too honest. You know what I'm saying? I have genuine discussions with people. And when you're talking to somebody, when they're asking you all kind of stuff about, especially with the fake deadly virus and all that stuff going on, and how I feel about all that, and they trying to have like a real conversation with me, I'm going to be straight up with them. And then when they legitimately, I'll tell them like facts about things, and they don't even listen. They refuse to hear truthful information. It's like they're pretending to be asleep. It's like they refuse to hear it, and that's not cool, man. That kind of gets under my skin a little bit, because it's like I'm coming at you all genuine. I don't have any agenda. Yeah, stuff I'm saying is not fun. It's kind of scary, but hey, man, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I know, I can be a walking contradiction at times. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to put my weaknesses out on the line. Like, yeah, I believe in this, but sometimes I do this, this, and that. I'm willing to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna sit here and be a hip, and be and not admit my hypocrisy because it happens. But some people is like, you'll be trying to have a genuine conversation with them, and you'll tell them straight truths, and they'll totally just pretend like they didn't hear it because they're so bent on staying in their little so-called safe space in their mind, and that's really disingenuous. I mean, it's and I kind of get it because I remember when I was a younger man, I used to debate a lot with one of my friends, and I did do strategical debating. I did used to hold certain things back and didn't really because I knew if I said that he could use that against me, and he'll win the debate and he'll be right. And then I'm like, okay, if I admit that what he said is true, then that means I gotta admit this, this, and that. I gotta doubt everything if I admit that. So it's like an unfair fight, man, and that's not cool. It's like I guess I just can't really fight unfair because I really want to grow. When you're fighting fair, you really are forced to expand because you're being pushed in a situation where you may be challenged on some things, or you may be called a hypocrite, or you may be straight up wrong. But then you got a chance to correct yourself. You got a chance to expand. You got a chance to improve your argument and learn, some different perspectives and stuff. But when you're not being honest, when you're hearing people say some honest to God truths and you know they're true and they can't do anything to dispute it and they ignore it, they pretend like they're asleep and they try to, gaslight you and all that foolishness and all that stuff. That's the stuff that bothers me, man. It's like, don't come talk to me about nothing. Don't ask me any questions if you're not going to listen and at least take into consideration the truth that I'm throwing at you. I ain't gonna just say no crazy stuff that's just like off the. If I say it, I'll tell you. I don't really know exactly, but I got a feeling. I'll say stuff like that. But if I'm telling you straight up, what we call facts, numbers, and stuff, and I could back it up and stuff, and you want to ignore, you want to stay asleep, you want to continue to listen to these, and then it's like, what, I gotta have a suit on the TV behind the desk for my words to mean anything? Why we put these people, these authorities, these officials on such a high pedestal? These people, a lot of these people are idiots. They're egotistical idiots, and they're part of groups, and they're pushing certain agendas, and they can't back out now. They have to go all the way through with the agenda that they're pushing because they'll lose their power, they'll lose their prestige, they'll lose their position in their little groups and on and if you talk about the news, these anchors and stuff, they're just pushing their little agendas so they can keep their popularity. It's not genuine conversations that you hearing from these people. It's all agenda driven. You don't want to be taking advice from people that have agendas on it with their conversation and with their argument. We can't trust these people. We can't trust these officials. We can't trust these politicians. We can't trust these authorities. We have to figure this stuff out on our own. We need to stop putting these people on a pedestal and thinking they're smarter than us. They know better than us. I'm not saying people don't specialize in certain things, but these people are no good because they're part of groups. If you are in a group, your group has agendas. And if someone that's telling you to do something is in a group, which all of them are, then you can't trust their opinion. I don't have an agenda. I have just, I'm just authentic, and I have just the best intentions for everybody. I don't want everybody to be like me. I don't think everybody should believe everything I believe. I'm being honest with you. I know common sense, and common sense is is obvious, and that's all I talk about. I'm here to help, and that's it. I'm not making money. I'm here to help. I'm not on TV trying to sell a certain idea, trying to keep people afraid. I'm not working in some city council office trying to follow some rules so I won't get fired. I'm not working at some place forcing somebody to put a mask on so they won't get fired or fined. My concerns and my words are straight up. The only thing I'm worried about is My agenda is to help people see the power that lives within them. I am interested in helping people see how beautiful and powerful and expansive they are. That's my agenda. Now, whatever that turns out to be, hell, some people probably don't need to know what their power is. Some people might go crazy if they know what they could really do in this world. So, I mean, hey, that might happen. But I know the majority of people are good people, and if they discover that they're not a number, they're not a follower of these authorities, these stupid governments, these all these corporations with their rules, and they're enforcing this, and it's so much buffoonery going on, man. I'm just tired of people thinking so small of themselves. That's my agenda. I want individuals just to think more of themselves. Now, if that's bad, that's bad. But that's how I feel. I don't think everybody should be walking around following orders from dummies just because they're on TV and they're wearing a suit and they're in front of a microphone. Who are you? Why are you telling me about my life? You don't know anything about me. And we should look at these people like this, folks. Anyway, so that's my agenda, and it breaks my heart to see people falling for all this virus crap, and they're giving away all their freedoms, and they letting people check their temperature, and they're taking tests, and they're terrified. Numbers going up. It's like, dude, they're supposed to go up. They said slow the spread, not stop the spread. They're supposed to go up. Thank God nobody's dying. That's the thing we should be focused on, is the percentage of death. Come on, folks, stop. Just pay attention. Just pay attention, people. Come on now. It's ridiculous. It's slow the spread, not stop it. You can't stop it. We live in this stuff, man. Anyway, just be careful, y'all, because the more we allow these people to get away with, they're not going to want to take it back. And then just think about the next generation. Think about these kids, man. They're going to be getting violated, no freedoms. It's terrible what's about to happen to these kids going back to school. A kid can't social distance. That's impossible. And if a kid learns how to social distance, that kid is psychologically wrecked for life. Trust me, that's not a good deal. Wake up, folks. If you're pretending to be asleep, I get it. I know it's hard, because if you doubt one thing, if you doubt one system, you got to question all the systems surrounding your life, and that's scary. But you being dishonest by pretending to be asleep is not cool. We need you on the other side. We need you to warn people and to help wake other people up. So it's your fault if you're sitting there pretending, and some people know that certain systems are bad. They know that certain religious stuff is bad. They know certain things don't make sense. They know that certain traditions don't make sense, but they won't stand up to it because they're too invested in it. They're in these damn groups, and they're too invested, and they're watching everything fall around them. All these people suffer. All these people not living up to their potential because you know better, and you're not saying shit. That's not cool. You know better. I know better. That's why I'm talking. This is a farce that we living in, folks. There's a lot of deception, inconsistent buffoonery, trickery going on, and you know better, and you need to stop pretending like you don't, and wake up and start warning people, because this stuff is getting out of hand. These people are trying to take away everything. We're not going to be able to fart without them knowing that we did it, and that's what we're allowing to happen by you pretending that you don't see what's going on. You better wake up and start calling people out in these groups and these political parties and these different religions and all these traditions and all this stuff. That stuff is a farce, and you better stop. You know it's not legit, and I know it's hard, but it's on you. The worse this stuff gets, it's on you. I'm doing my part. I'm gonna do as much as I can, but you better wake up and stop pretending to be asleep. And those that are asleep that made it this far, I do speak English. So you can't understand me. Just listen to it later. If you can't hear it now, listen to it later, and you'll hear it different. I get it. I really do. You probably didn't make it this far, though. Anyway, folks, I'm not going to do my outro today because this one already went long. I love you, my co-creators. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. And I'm about to go hit this gym right quick because I got to do some work later on. All right. I love you, my co-creators. Wake your ass up.